Hey, and welcome to Thursday Thought today from the beautiful outside. I want to talk about, I think things that have got me this week is, I'm reading this book, as you know, Immune Aging, or Immune to Age, but Immune Aging is, I suppose, the inflammation that builds up over age, as we age, and how it's really important to, to keep that down for longevity. So I'm reading that book, which is great. But one of the key things that got me this week was this quote. Well, this, I suppose, is a flyaway comment, but it's really significant, I think. And it's, aging is an extreme environment. It's not for wimps. And how true is that? For those of you like me and my circle of friends, we realise the older we get, the harder we have to work are all those things that, maybe in our youth we took for granted. Like, God, the way that we protect our sleep nowadays is beyond belief. It was on in my top tip this week, wasn't it? Getting outside and getting your eyeballs in natural light to enable your hormones to work right so that you have a good night's sleep. Eating well, obviously that's what we do, but eating the powerful plants and all their powerful properties that help us stay fit and healthy, and fibre. That was my top tip series, a couple of weeks ago. Dr. Lemony Lehman. So all of those things are so powerful, and they're all in the endeavour of becoming an endurance athlete for age. Okay, age, because age is an extreme environment, not for wimps. Balance goes as we get older. So hence why we need to do loads of foot strengthening exercises, walk everywhere, run to protect our cardiovascular health, because that's still the biggest killer out there. Reduce the stress in our lives to make sure that, all those free radicals going around our body don't get left to become something cancerous or awful. We've really got to do absolutely even more than we ever used to protect ourselves from this extreme environment that is aging. But it doesn't have to be difficult, does it? We know we don't need a crystal ball to see what is going to happen to us in old age. We've all had the pleasure of grandparents and people that that in our lives that have been so powerful and influential, that we've loved so much, to see that age is a privilege, and that all of those things can bring such joy and such happiness. But you don't want, as is statistically acknowledged out there, the last decade of your life being just so riddled with pain and, unbearable, that it just doesn't become joyous anymore. So the more work that you can put into preventing these things that inevitably in our winter years will hurt us, or will start becoming more and more of a problem as, inflammation, the inflammation in our body builds up over time as we age. But we know what those things are going to be. So the more positive things that we can do to offset that, the better. So obviously, take dementia, for example. The more that you can keep your brain learning new things, growing, learning new skills, reading, listening to podcasts, writing, teaching the knowledge that you've learned to keep your brain going, the better. The healthier food that you can eat to keep obesity, one of the biggest killers, diabetes, the biggest killer, to at bay, and heart disease obviously it is too, then the better. The more we move our body, the more nimble it remains, and we prevent those things too. The more foot strength, the more balance that we've got, the more flexibility that we've got, that we can bend down, and all of those things. We know what's coming. So that's what we need to intensify our work on now to prepare for that extreme environment, because it is not for wimps. So we haven't got, well, I certainly don't have at 50 or turning 50 in January, I don't have, youth on my side. But what I do have is an absolute endurance athlete attitude to being the best version of myself that I can be, and my eyes wide open to what old age is going to look at. So that comment got me. I wanted to share that today on Thursday Thoughts. I've been for a beautiful run, getting my eyeballs exposed to the natural light, and happy Thursday, everyone. Hope you take something from this.